Success. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So we're in a little bit of a cozy setup today and we're basically just gonna have a sit down, a chat, eat some Archies and answer some questions about moving out for the first time. This is the first ever time that I'm trying Archies. I'm so excited. I'll show you what I've got in a little bit. But essentially, when I moved out, I had so many questions. I asked 1,000,001 people so many different things, and I think it would just be really helpful to have a video for some of you to refer back to if you do find yourself moving out soon or in the near future, or maybe in a few years time as well. I'm going to be quite open about stuff, to be honest. As you've seen on my channel, I am very honest about the good things and the bad things of moving out and I guess just life in general. So we're going to go through all that. I did put a question box on my Instagram story as per, so I will pop up the questions that people ask. In terms of my Archies, I'm so excited about this. I got a few things. I got myself some cheesy fries. Oh my god, I forgot what I got, to be honest. Oh yeah, I got myself some sort of like spicy wrap, but I added loads of cheese to it. And finally I got some tenders. So we have quite a lot of food to get through, got lots of questions to get through as well, to be honest. Right, I think before I get going, I'm gonna try a little bit of everything. I also got myself a Fanta.
She gon' pop it open, she gon' make it pour.
Success. Oh my god, that is bloody beautiful. Right, this combo, I mean not together, but just these are my favourite sauces. Sweet chilli, obviously, and this garlic and herb. I call it festival sauce because you get it at every single like festival and fun fair, but this is the shit, it's so garlicky. Nice. Right, first question, when did you decide that you wanted to move out? I think I've spoken about it on my channel before. I wasn't enjoying uni. Uni wasn't really headed in the right direction. Like I did do really well in my first year, but I wasn't enjoying it at all, and the fact that lots of lectures were going to stay online, I wasn't interested. I knew I loved to work anyway, which sounds really silly, but from my gap year I worked full time, absolutely loved it, loved having an income. It was just like, it was just fun, like I enjoyed that aspect of adulthood. So I was like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna drop out. Oh my god, no. I always joked about dropping out, but I never thought I'd actually have the guts to do it. So me and Maya were literally just talking, we were like, oh, we'd love to move to Manchester, we'd love to move to Manchester. And then we just did. Like there was probably about a month, maybe a month and a half between deciding I was gonna drop out and actually like signing the like lease for this place. It was very spur of the moment. It was very like, fuck it, which I'm not sure I would recommend. Like it's worked out so well for me and I'm literally so grateful, but I think I was just really lucky in the fact that I've managed to get myself a really good job. I feel really established. Obviously I have waves of being sad, of missing home and everything like that, but all in all, the whole process of moving out has gone really smoothly for me. Oh my god, I've got cheese in my hair, fuck off. Everything happened really quickly. We decided on a place, decided on a building. I managed to get myself a job really quickly. And then, yeah, we were off and we moved to Manchester, I think. I moved up a little bit earlier because I had to move up for work. So I lived with Jamie and Vass for a bit. And then we moved into this place on the 28th of August. If you are thinking of moving out, maybe give it a little bit of extra thought. I had quite a lot of savings anyway, so if anything happened with my job or anything like that, you know, I have something to fall back on. So I definitely advise that you have something to fall back on in case something goes wrong. Like obviously I'm still in my probation period. I know like 99% that I'm definitely not going to lose my job at the end of it, but you can. Do you know what I mean? So it's quite a risk. I will definitely be returning to Archies. Oh my god. Me and Fanta are like that. We have this kind of relationship that I don't ever see myself having with anything else. Fanta is just the best thing. Okay, the next question is how much rent do we pay? Which is a bit of a personal question, to be honest, especially because it's not just me.
Okay.
Hey, you okay?
Yeah.
Someone asked how much rent do you pay? Should I say, or is that too personal?
I like that.
You don't care. Anyway, have fun, girlies. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, I can't disclose that information. Me and Maya pay around £1,200 a month together. You then obviously have bills on top. I think our water bill is around £35 a month and our electricity is around 60 or 70. Council tax is about 80. So there you have it. I mean, it's a bit personal, but in the same respect, if we were living in London, we'd be paying probably double or triple that to live in a place like what we're living. Even in Oxford, like, you cannot get shit in Oxford if you're not going to pay like a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? It's definitely better bang for your buck up in Manchester. Like, I wouldn't be able to afford to move out in Oxford. I don't think I'd want to afford to move out in Oxford. I'd much rather come somewhere where you get more for your money. So yeah, that's how much we pay. Obviously bills and stuff I think is quite important to know as well, in case you are thinking of moving out. So that's something to bear in mind. Okay, the next question was, can you explain the process a little bit? Yeah, of course. Now, the process of our move-in was a little bit different to maybe your standard move-in, but essentially the building that me and Maya live in is managed. Essentially it was built and it's managed by just one company. So the management company own every single apartment, whereas usually you have a building where you have different landlords. They each, you know, buy a separate apartment from the developer or someone who was living there before and then rent it out themselves. But in this case, it is just the company renting it out as a whole. So because of that, when we did the viewing, or when I came to do the viewing, the person that did the viewing on the property with us actually worked for the management company. So everything is done in-house, if that makes sense. All the rent collection, advertising, viewing, marketing, everything is done by the same company. Whereas usually you have estate agents that market, find tenants, do rent collection, you know, do the viewings and everything, and then the landlords tends to just sit back a little bit. I vlogged it as well, so I came up and did a viewing on a couple of apartments in this block. They're not all identical, but they're very, very similar. Some of them are bigger than others, some of them are smaller than others. When we found one, we put down a reservation fee, which I think was only about £100, and then it got taken from our deposit. Then we had to put in all our details, obviously ID checks, anti-fraud, all that kind of stuff. That we paid a deposit. I'm not going to say exactly how much the deposit was because in all honesty I can't remember. I think it's about a month's rent. Then we decided on a move-in day. We both had to come in with our passports and we literally picked up our keys. So it's a very, very smooth process, I want to say, when it's like this. But that's pretty much it. Once you've secured an apartment, you just do all the obvious things like pay a deposit, set up your direct debit, sort out your bills. That's not fun, to be honest. Obviously doing meter readings and stuff. Me and Maya get everything metered because it tends to be a lot cheaper. I think that's like the bulk of it. Right, I'm gonna eat a little bit of this. Look how wedged that wrap is. She a chunky monkey. Should I just bite into it? Or should I go and cut it up? That is really yummy. That wrap as well, may I add, has just the right level of moisture. You know, sometimes when you get wraps to take away or like for delivery and stuff, the outside is really soggy. This is actually really dry on the outside, but then on the inside you have like loads of cheese and fried chicken. It's just, it's phenomenal. Next question. Would you ever want to live by yourself? Yeah, 100%. I love living with Maya. Love living with Maya, but ultimately I want to get to the point where I can live on my own. Not financially, because I feel like financially I could live on my own at the moment, but I don't want to yet. Like, I'm not ready to go from living full-time with like 6 other people at uni, then going home, living with my family. Everyone was constantly home when I lived with my family as well, because they all work from home, which is great. It's such a blessing and I'm so grateful for it because, you know, growing up in the last few years where I've had at home have been so nice. But I think it's such an important step, living on your own, to be honest. Like, it's just that next level of independence that I feel like everyone should have at some point. Not everyone ends up living on their own, which, I don't know, it baffles me a bit. But I mean, that's just my personal opinion, and no hate towards them, because living with someone, you know, forever would be lovely. But it's just that complete independence that I really want to get to. So that is, yeah, that's the goal. I don't think that'll happen next year, maybe the one after. Until I'm like truly established, I think I want to live with a friend. It's also really fun living with a friend. If you've seen one of my recent vlogs, I got quite upset when Maya left because I just found it really overwhelming being on my own for like 10 days. But I've come out the other side and I actually do love, like I genuinely love being on my own. Equally, I love spending time with her and my friends, my family when they've come up, and Jamie and everything. But loving your own company I think is so important, and being able to be on your own for a prolonged period of time I think is really good. That leads on to the next point, or the next question, which was, do you see yourself living with your partner or your boyfriend anytime soon? To be honest, no, and that's not an issue at all. We've been together like coming up 2.5 years now, so it's not the longest. It's a considerable amount of time, don't get me wrong, but it's not the longest. We've only just moved out, essentially. Like, he's moved out in May and I moved out 2 months ago. So it's not been very long for us. Like, moving out is very new. There's so many experiences that I think we should have on our own or with a friend first. Living with Maya is so fun. Would living together be the right thing at the moment? Probably not. And I don't know, I feel like some people would be really baffled by that, but I'm so young, I'm 20, like I'm turning 21 in December. I don't think, generally speaking, that people do live with their, you know, partners or whatever at 20 years old. I'm not saying it would be a bad thing, but you know, sometimes, yeah, people do move straight out with their partners, but often that's not until they're like 24, 25. Do you know what I mean? No, not anytime soon. I would love to, we'd love to live together, but not yet. Plenty more independence first. Next question, would you ever consider moving back home? Do you know what? Never say never, because the last year's shown me that things can change so quickly. Like, I should still be at university right now. I should still be in Southampton, which is literally the arse end of the country. Like, it's literally the other side of the country from here. So never say never. I don't see a reason why I would need to. I mean, I do miss my family crazy amounts. Like, I don't like being this far away from them. But then Manchester's such a cool city, so I don't know, I feel like I moved out way earlier than my whole family and I expected. And it was really sad. It's still really sad, but I see my family like every 3-4 weeks maybe. If ever I needed to move back for, you know, financial reasons, or if something happened up here, or if I needed to go home, they would always welcome me back with open arms. Like, I have the best family ever. I'm so like in love with Manchester. I love my job. I love everything about life here for the most part. Like, I don't see myself moving back at any point soon. I definitely want to move closer to my family at some point. Not for a long time. I'll definitely be in Money city centre for the next few years. To answer the question, I don't see myself moving back, no. If I ever needed to, I would, and I could, but I do miss them a lot. I'm actually well impressed that I'm getting through this wrap. Oh my god, there's a hash brown in it as well. Next question. What is the hardest part about moving out? Just adjusting to the change. Obviously, when people move out, everyone's circumstances are going to be different. Like, you might move quite close to home. You might live on your own straight off the bat. You know, there's so many different things that go into it. But for me, I feel like quite a lot did change. Like, I got a new job. I moved to a new city that was, I think it's like 3.5 hours away from home. I'm far from my family. I'm living with someone I've never lived with before. There's so much change and so much to learn as well about bills, and I felt like I was fairly clued up anyway on that kind of stuff just because of uni. Because obviously when you move into an apartment like this, you have to sort out everything to do with bills. Like council tax, you have to pay water, electricity, council tax. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. But there are so many different things you have to pay. You have to change your addresses for everything. You know, there's so much that goes into it, and you have to do so much, just so much life admin. So that's a bit of a shock to the system. Paying the bloody food shopping. Paying the food shopping. When I was at uni, I just used to eat the cheap stuff, but now I'm trying to be, you know, like a lot more healthy. I'm trying to meal prep obviously for work, so I don't want to pay for a meal deal every single day, and I don't want a meal deal every single day. So the food shopping is expensive. Everything is expensive. That's the thing. So the hardest part about moving out is being away from my family, being in a completely new place where I don't know that many people, just being chucked in at the deep end, essentially. It's hard, and it sometimes gets lonely, especially if you're on your own, but it's so fun. Going on from that, is it hard meeting new people now you've moved away? Yeah, it's so hard. Obviously, at work, there are a limited good English. There are a limited amount of people my age. I get on with absolutely everyone at work, and I get on really well with the people that are my age. But equally, they're like realistically the only people I speak to on a day-to-day basis. I met Casey literally on Instagram. So that was really, really lucky because we're literally, you know, super close friends now, literally best friends. So in that respect, I'm really, really lucky about that. I haven't really met many people organically as such. I mean, I've met lots of people through Jamie, lots of his friends. Yeah, I'm still kind of on the path to making more friends, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's difficult meeting new people, especially when you're not at university or anything like that. I mean, if I was stuck in an office full of people I didn't get on with, or people that were like way, way, way older, I think I would find that really hard. Now this is a bit of an interesting question, to be honest. Do you find yourself with too much time on your hands or not enough? Not enough. I'm so busy. I never have time, literally ever. I'm filming this on a Wednesday, so in my job, because I'm working this Saturday, I get a day off in the week, so today's my day off in the week. So I use this day for like filming, sorting myself out, etc. This is one of the only days ever where I actually have time to get shit done. My usual day in a week is I leave for work at 8:30, maybe a little bit earlier. Obviously work until 5:30. I then go to the gym. I don't get home till about 7, 7:15. Then I have to make dinner, then I have to, you know, shower, sort myself out, meal prep if I'm gonna meal prep, clean, like loads of just life, adult stuff. So the day goes really, really quick, and then weekends I'm out doing fun stuff. Things just get really, really busy, especially because I tend to walk most places as well. Like when I go see Casey later, I'm gonna walk into town, which it only takes like 20-25 minutes, but then that's 25 minutes, then me and Casey will walk somewhere, and then we'll walk back, and then I'll walk back to mine. Do you know what I mean? So it does get really, really busy and hectic. That being said, I do really like it. I find I get way more productive when I'm busy, which is kind of like, duh. I love being busy, but it would just be nice to have a couple of extra hours in the day to sort myself out. What's your full-time job? I'm an estate agent. I feel like I've said this a few times on my channel. It is a 9 to 5, well, 9, 5:30. So yeah, that's what I do. It's going really, really well. I love being in property so much. I see myself being in property for the foreseeable, to be honest. Yeah, if YouTube takes off, I will still stay in property, but just cut it down a little bit. What are your ultimate goals with moving out? Well, there are a few secret plans going on, which I can't really say anything about. They are like, I guess, property related, but it's probably not what you think. Oh, it's so exciting. That's what my meeting was about earlier, but I'm not saying any more. I'm gonna film the entire process. I'm gonna do like loads of videos on it because it's so like exciting. I can't say anything yet, but it's mad. Obviously I've got plans. I want to, you know, move into a nice big house for myself. Probably not for a few years. I see myself being in the city centre for a while. But yeah, buying a really nice place for myself. I don't think I'm gonna waste time buying an apartment, to be honest. Just because you have like service charges, ground rents, a lease, you know, that kind of stuff. It almost feels like, you know, you own the apartment, but you're still paying a little bit of almost rent to live in it. So I don't think I'll do that. I think I'll live in the city centre and rent until I buy myself a big fat gaff. Favourite part about Manchester? The fact that you can walk absolutely anywhere. Me and Maya walked back from bloody Parklife, which was like 2 hours, 3 hours. It's just like a condensed London, if that makes sense. So you have all the sick like bars, restaurants, shopping centres, all that kind of stuff, but they're all like crammed in together. Like you'll walk down one street and see, you know, like a really cool bar. You know, one of those famous like Instagram places that everyone loves to go to. And then you'll just turn down another street and there'll be another one there. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't have to travel far at all to see all the good things and do all the fun stuff. I can walk home from nights out. I don't tend to be honest, unless I'm with Jamie. I can walk home from nights out. Ubers are dirt cheap. Like they're literally £3 into town. I mean, I'm in town anyway, but you know what I mean. It's very ideal. I think I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I've eaten about half of the food, which is a pretty shit attempt, if we're being honest. So great, good from me, very good from me. Yeah, eaten about half the food. I'm quite stuffed now, so I might have the rest for dinner. But I hope that's answered some of your questions. I didn't get like masses. If you do have any more questions about moving out, leave them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them, reply to them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has offered a little bit of insight into a life of a moved out girl. Please don't forget to subscribe and I will see you in the next video. Bye!